breaking news. Me and Bob and I, we just recently got off the phone with Kyle Dubas, the GM of the Leafs, and I think this trade is going down for reals. Bob, what are your thoughts?
I'm, you know what? Gardner for Ristolainen 1-for-1 would have been a great deal for Toronto. Not so great for Buffalo. But Kapanen, he's a future. He's really good. Like he was the gem in that trade for Kessel,
Yeah.
right? And for them to give it up,
But you have to
I've
look
got
at
mixed emotions on this one. I know Ristolainen's a future star
that's
defensively, and I think this is going to solidify their blue
that's what
line.
they really needed though, if you think
So
about it.
they're giving up a little bit of offense for a lot of defense.
Yeah,
So
and Gardner, I think the Leafs, their mentality here was, they still have a grudge on what happened with the
I
Boston
don't think
series.
they have the
They
grudge.
have the grudge. That's why they're trading him. Otherwise, no offense to any of the Leaf players. You know who I think would have went instead of him? I think it would have been Zaitsev. It was
Yeah.
Zaitsev or Gardner.
Well, Zaitsev has half the contract that Gardner does. Why would I trade Zaitsev?
Whole point being Buffalo wanted Zaitsev, but they said we'll give you Gardner
We'll give you Gardner
and Kapanen.
and Kapanen.
But the whole point, it's an even trade for both teams. Buffalo's still
Well,
getting a pretty.
here's my take on it. Right now, Buffalo's getting a better deal. Next year,
Toronto's getting a better
deal.
deal. Yeah,
So
it's mixed. Because you're getting a veteran
so
like.
you know what when it's like that where you got to split it down the middle,
It's a
you
good
know it's an
trade.
even trade.
Good trade. And I need to have a word with Kyle Dubas. Kyle.
Oh, hi, Jim.
Hi, Kyle. Okay, so I have a couple questions with you on this one. So, trading away Kapanen, you got Lou Lamoriello. One of the first deals he made was the Kessel trade when he was sat in the GM's chair. And when you got Kapanen, now you're working with him, and now you have to trade him. What are your emotions on?
Kapanen's a great player. Was never able to crack the top two lines.
Yeah.
But fantastic player. He's going to be a star wherever he ends up, which looks like it's going to be Buffalo. I'm signing the document as we speak.
Oh, so you're on Bluetooth then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bluetooth, something, a hands-free device.
I'm on speakerphone, Jim.
Speakerphone.
Yes.
Okay. Another question. When Buffalo asked for Zaitsev, I just want to hear the words that you said to Buffalo when
I
they
can't say it on air, Jim. I can't
Oh,
say
okay.
it on
Then
air.
that's all I need to hear.
um, yeah, it wasn't something that I can say on air, but I really want Ristolainen. I think he's going to be he's going to have a huge impact on our blue line, on our penalty kill, on our power play. He's going to be a future star. I think him and Riley are going to be the number one and number two defensemen in the league. I think it's going to be a race for the Norris Trophy every year between the two of them.
Yeah, it looks really bright
And
for the Leafs' future.
I really think they're going to play off each other, feed off each other, grow together, and they're going to be scary together, I think.
What's so convenient about this trade, though, is they're pretty much the exact same age and pretty much in that exact same position as a hockey player. You don't have all this pressure on you, but you're one of the top guys on your team. And if we could take a look at Morgan Riley, he's 24 years old. In 2 games played, he got 3 points. He's a +7. and we take a look at Ristolainen, he's 23, right? So I think what's really convenient about this deal is that they're at the same age. So when they reach their peak, it's together. It's not as if we take a look at the Carlson trade, where Carlson's 29, Burns is 33. They're gonna. What I really like what you did with this is that they're going to complement each other as they grow, which is gonna make them even better before it would even happen. But Buffalo, they seem to they've seemed to get into error. So, um, we're gonna go with the Buffalo GM now. Bob, you mind interviewing the Buffalo GM? Thank you, Kyle.
You're welcome, Jim. Jim, what the hell is the Buffalo's GM name? I forgot.
Same here. You're gonna
What
have to
is it?
figure. Just say Mr. Buffalo.
Mr. Buffalo?
Yes.
Buffalo Sabre guy?
Yes.
Um, you're in a little bit of a conundrum because you have too many players on your team. Who are you gonna give to
I was
Toronto?
thinking. Well, what I was thinking was, we get this Nelson character away from me because he's been having a lot of problems in the locker room. So if you talk to my assistant GM, Anile J, the Nigerian, he was a Nigerian prince. Um, you know, it was a pretty easy decision, but I think I'm gonna go with Nick Baptiste.
You changed your mind there, Buffalo guy. That was quick.
Yeah, no. As I
Y-
was looking at the sheet of who to get rid of, I saw Nick Baptiste, and he just looked like a real guy not to have on my team. The look on his face
Well, it sort
just
of.
makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. But
Look what it says about him. He sucks. That's what it says. So
it
Toronto's
says
gonna
that
get a
he's.
suck.
That's why I'm trading him.
He's a fourth line forward currently, but he's a potential top nine forward. Shoots right. He's 23, 205 pounds, 6'1". Um, I think the Leafs could use a guy like that.
Well, I think they could too, because if we take a look at
Well, when you know what's cool? When you add up those numbers that we have on the side there, they're equal.
yeah, yeah, that's why I did the trade.
All right, let's get the trade done.
So am I gonna talk to Kyle Dubas?
I think you have to discuss these things behind closed doors now. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Thank
Nice
you.
talking.
Thanks, Buff Sabe.
Now, who was that? Who was that, Bob?
I'm not
I
sure.
have no. Wait,
I-
let me look him up on the internet. Hold on.
I'm going to take a sip of water.
Yeah, no problem. Let me just look.
Code name for beer. I mean water.
Exactly. GM of Buffalo Sabres. Now, no one knows his name. Jason Butterill. We were talking to Jason Butterill.
He sounded like a Butterville.
Oh, that was a good one. I like that.
Didn't sound like a regular person. I mean,
Yeah.
someone put together.
Maybe,
like us.
his puberty, maybe it was a tough time. Maybe you never know the circumstances. Anyways, the deal is finalized.
There it is.
And, I think Kyle Dubas is shaping up the Leafs for the better. They've got a lot of mid-tier players now. I think that's what's going to put them at the top over everybody else. And, we'll see you next game when Toronto and Chicago play. We're going to be in Chicago, though. The windy city.
I always thought Boston was the Windy City.
So did I.
Because, Beantown, Windy City.
Yeah.
It just makes sense, but I guess not.
This is Anus TV.
And see you on October 7th in
Today's
Chicago.
October 7th. We're leaving in Chicago in 20 minutes. Our
Okay.
flight leaves in 20 minutes, but we're right beside the airport.
Okay.
So
That's great.
I'm Jim Davis.
I'm Bob Roberts.
This is Anus TV.
Trade.